the water, brother. All right, going live.
You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers.
The audacity, overcoming nothing he can sass me. With my stilo swear they talking to me like they had to be. Dealing with these devils, I stay above it all heavily. But sometimes it takes a little evil thought to wickedly. Cause you been bumping your gums. See that same energy when you hear your boy come. Like the dog, let my name in your mouth like spit on your tongue. When karma come like you, but I say you better run, boy, run. I've been humble, bro, out the way, working on my soul, even on the stroll. You know, bitch and net acting hard, connect the dots on these weirdos like dominoes. Moving blocks to the second house, Genius Peter Road. Authentic to my city like Papados. My dynasty 94 Houston Rockets. I can dream and shake and go for the goal. Staying 10 toes cause I'll never fold. These boys shaky like Ross Smith with BBLs in the speed up. I walk through the fire like them two boys with a Bendigo. Yo fuego pseudo to my CEO. That's implies on the job. Progress is cargo. I step in any plot like the fucking hockey boy. I'm too ice cold. You keep bumping your gums. E5-0, you better run, nigga, run. Everybody gets scared when the rabbits got a gun. Boy, you keep bumping your gums. Keep it dip, boy, call me walk to November. That's my middle name, these shoulders cold like the winter. My lineage of priesthood, that's royal like something. No fuck my clan, lead these turtles have shell like Splinter. I came up with the pennies, so I'm Shaquille to the center. With no regard for human life, son of God, when I enter, I injure any goal on any arena. When I enter my opponent's old meal, taking L's unless you a vendor. It's sauce water, splash town like Sauce Walker. Your sauce taughter, shrimp nigga tossed and bad water. I'm 10 toes, ball swinging, how this bread shot miraculously. With 2 fish to 5,000, say pardon me. These isosceles out of pocket, these angles trying me. For a piece of pie, been counting calories. Can't tell I've been in the gym, look at my anatomy. They use your character status, throwing shake full of hypocrisy. Keep bumping your gums. E5-0, you better run, nigga, run. Everybody gets scared when the rabbits got a gun. Boy, keep bumping your gums.
All right. Clap it up. All right, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. It is Monday, the history breakdown class, where we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. We are in the deep dive of the book of Genesis. We are in Genesis 41. Basically, we in the story where give you a little backdrop where Joseph he was thrown in prison, made chief of the prison guard, and then Pharaoh threw his chief butler and his chief baker in prison, and they was having dreams, and they didn't know what the dreams meant. Joseph interpreted them. One of them, he told that he was going to get out in 3 days. The butler, he's going to be restored back to where he was at the right hand of Pharaoh, serving him, filling his cup up, with fresh grapes of wine and all of that. And the other one, in 3 days, he was going to be decapitated and he was going to die, right? And when it came to pass, Joseph told the butler, and when this does happen, remember your boy one time. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget about me, down here in the dungeon. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we are in 41. But before we jump in it, There were a couple of questions. I think it's 2 from Yakatazov and then 1 from Yakabot. Go ahead. Don't got it. Don't. Just don't. Just. Is it on? Is the oh it's don't hit it. It's because it's not no, the
Another one kind.
Ask the question.
So, Lucky, I don't want. I just wanted to ask about Moses and Christ. You know, Moses went into the mountain. When he went into the mountain, he wasn't directly in front of the Most High, but when he came back down, his face was uh glowing. His face was glowing
Mm-hmm.
like he had been in front of a great power. You get what I'm saying? Just going up there. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, he was performing miracles like Christ was performing miracles like Elijah, uh it's a few other people, that was performing miracles and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they they just like those people in Maccabees, they died, for the integrity of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know, what made Moses' face glow like that.
All right, we'll do a couple of things. Mm, uh, first part of your question, as far as like making his face go. All right, so you want to go to Exodus 19. That's the first one I'm gonna have you pull. Go to Exodus 19. Let me see where I want you to start at though. Exodus 19. Let's see, go to Exodus 19. Mm-hmm. Sinai, through Greece, hold on. All right, so start at about verse 16. Exodus 19 and 16.
Khan one Khan. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 16. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceedingly loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. Verse 17. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke,
Mm-hmm.
because the Lord descended upon it in fire.
The what?
The Lord descended upon it in fire.
All right, so like when Moses was when he was up there getting the instructions of the Lord, getting the law, statutes, and commandments, he was up there in the midst of this fire, right? In the presence of the Lord. Okay. All right. Keep reading.
And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole mount quaked greatly.
All
Verse
right. So 2 things I need you to keep in mind. I need you to keep in mind uh that the mountain I'm talking about it almost you ever seen like how the thick lightning cloud that's over a volcano when it's erupting,
Right.
and it's like at nighttime if you see it, it's like that cloud is on fire, right, and it's just thunderbolts and lightning, thunderbolts and lightning, right. That's the closest example that I can give you uh in commonality that you can kind of picture in your mind what's happening. And Moses is just up there.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now let's see where this is something else I want you. What verse did you stop at?
At 19.
Okay, go to 20.
Verse 20. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount, and the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up.
Okay. All right. Now I want you to go to Exodus. I believe it's 34.
Can I ask one thing right here?
Go ahead.
So this is not the Most High. This is just.
We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
All right. So go to Exodus 34. All right, and 29. All right. Hold on. I'm missing something else. A pillar. All right. Before we go there, go give me Exodus 13 and 21. And if anybody online, if you have questions, type them in the chat, so I can get to them. If I don't get to them here in the beginning of the class, I will definitely get to them at the end.
Con out of one con. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 13, verse 21. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night.
All right. So what is this? All right. This same pillar of fire, right?
Right.
And you can't see fire during the daytime because it's light around, right? This same pillar of fire that's leading them through the wilderness is the same pillar or a cloud that descended upon Mount Sinai. So what is this? What is it?
The Lord.
What is it?
It's a manifestation of the Lord.
Okay, what is that? And if online, if you know the answer, you can type it in too. What is that?
An angel.
Okay, if it's an angel, how is the angel manifesting itself?
As a pillar of fire.
What is that?
What is
Yakubai? I mean, you want to give it a shot? What is the pillar of fire that is traveling with them by day and by night? What is
it?
It's a what?
A chariot?
Get that brother a hand. Get that brother a hand. All right. Okay. All right. So now that we have that established.
Right.
All right. Now go to Exodus chapter 34 and verse 29.
No. This is the book of Exodus chapter 34 verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the two tables of testimony in Moses' hand. When he came down from the mount, that Moses was not, that the skin of his face shone while he talked with them.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 30. And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, Behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come nigh him.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 31. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him, and Moses talked with them.
Okay, so if we've established that the pillar of fire and the representation of the Lord was a chariot, right? And it literally described it as fire, right? And it's lightning and all of that stuff or whatever. And Moses is up there with this chariot. You know what I'm saying? You know, getting instruction, whether he was in the midst of the chariot, on the chariot, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't describe, but he was in the presence of these angels. You know what I'm saying? And his chariot, right? And he came down and it said his skin shone, you know, pretty much like the sun. What's a modern day term for that? I'll give you a hint. An isotope.
Yeah.
You
Like
know,
a light bulb.
you know what an isotope is?
No. I don't understand.
Okay, isotope is something. Hey, Yakuba, go see what's going on outside. Isotope is something that is radiated, right? So when Moses came down from the mountain, you know what I'm saying, his skin shone from being radiated from the chariot, right? So like just think if you were like around uh I don't want to say radiation because radiation it'll poison you, right? But when you're in the midst of pure light, that's all you're around. You know what I'm saying? And when you come down, you're going to radiate what you were in the presence of, right? So he was literally, I mean, I guess you can say he had radiation. You know what I'm saying? He was radiating. You feel me? From being up there in the midst of that light. Like Moses was up there. He was up there for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So, and the same thing happened when Moses came to visit when what's going on, brother? Shalom in Christ. What's going on, brother? The same thing happened when Moses and Elijah appeared before Christ. Christ transfigured and he radiated. Like he went from looking like me and you know what I'm saying, to looking like a scene out of the Soul Glow commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just radiated. You know what I'm saying? And he transformed, and at that point in time, they knew that they were in the presence of the Lord. Anytime that you're in the presence of the Lord, you're going to be radiated. Like prime example, right? You coming into the truth, right? When someone from the world that knew you from the past, when they see you, you understand? Your light is blinded. You understand? Like they can't stand to look at you, especially if it's somebody you used to smoke with. You know what I'm saying? Because the moment that they see you, you understand? They see everything that they're not. You understand? It's like you've been wallowing in the mud, and then one day you realize, dang, I got all this dirt on me. Let me go clean up real quick. You go in the house and clean up, and when you come back outside to your partner still wallowing in the mud, they be like, dang, we dirty. You know what I'm saying? That's what the light does. You know what I'm saying? And as you grow in the truth, that's what the scripture says, to let your light shine amongst men. Now that's figurative, but what we're talking about here is literal. You know what I'm saying? And there will come a time, like when Christ comes back, you will transfigure too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I can't wait till, Christ, well, the scriptures say, woe unto them that worship on that day. But Lord he allowed me to get on that chariot. You understand? and take us out to the wilderness, prepare us for the kingdom. I'm trying to get Super Saiyan 4, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
You feel me?
I'm
I'm trying to charge up like Goku. You feel me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's essentially what's happening. You know what I'm saying? You're able to move between the third and fourth dimension. You understand? Because the angels and the heavenly hosts, they go between the third and the fourth dimensions. Like I said, Joshua came face to face with an angel, right? So angels show themselves in different ways, right? So they have angels that look like men, right? You know, Joshua literally pulled his sword on an angel, like, who you with? You know what I'm saying? Angels literally rode up on Abraham before they went and destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. But then you have the angels, you know what I'm saying? They got 4 wings and 4 faces with eyes all over them. You know what I'm saying? That look like something awesome. Like if you see it, brother, you'll piss your pants. You know what I'm saying? Like the 4 angels that's around the throne of the Most High, that's like his pit bulls, bro. Like, bro, if you saw that, brother, you'll probably give up the ghost. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you have the angels, they just appear in chariots. You know what I'm saying? You know, we see them every once in a while, you know, passing by and stuff like that or whatever. You understand? So there are different ways the Lord will appear to get his message across. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, you got brothers that can just read the word and be like, oh, I'm not supposed to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. That's all I need. You know what I'm saying? You have some brothers, you know, because like last class, we were breaking down dreams, right? Because, you know, we in Genesis, you know, 40 and 41, right? Some brothers, the Lord got to send the angel to the dream into you for a dream, because you just reading it ain't enough. You need a sign. You need some type of miraculous wonder to get right. You know what I'm saying? Some people, you know what I'm saying, bad stuff just got to happen to them. The Lord got to send them angels about after you. Got to send them archangels, bro. You know, whether it's a car accident, you know what I'm saying? You know, you go to the club and, you know, it's a shootout that happens randomly. You know, you wasn't supposed to go there. You know what I'm saying? The Lord sends messages in different ways, but the whole point is to get your attention. You know what I'm saying? So in this case, you know, while he was, because remember when Moses went up on Mount, why did Moses go on Mount Sinai? Do you remember?
The commandments.
But why did he go up there alone? Did the Lord only want to deal with Moses?
Right. Yeah.
He did?
I can't remember one.
Either one of y'all know? All right. Do you know if the Lord only wanted to deal with Moses? And what's your name, brother? I'm sorry, Salaki. Brother Jarvis? Brother Jamarcus. Hey, it's awesome to meet you, brothers. Okay, so do you know if the Lord sent like if the whole time it was supposed to be the Lord only talking to Moses? Is that the reason why he was up there by himself? Well, why was he by himself?
Didn't God prophesy to I don't like to misquote the scriptures, but didn't he like appear in a bush and pretty much like prophesy? Like,
okay. So we talking about after they came out of Egypt. The golden calf. You know what I'm saying? He comes down. He throws the original tablets at the calf. Have them sit down there by the water and drink.
I'm up the part with that part.
Okay, all right. You the closest. All right. So the reason why is because Israel was afraid. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, the Lord was talking to all of them at one time. You understand? And they said, "Nah, Moses, you go talk to him lest we die." You know what I'm saying? Because remember, we're a nation of kings and priests, right? There was never supposed to be originally one king. We got a king because we asked for it and we got Saul. You know what I'm saying? And then David, then Solomon, you know what I'm saying? And now ultimately we have the greatest king, Christ, right? But ultimately, every man was supposed to be the king and high priest of his household. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was supposed to be. The Lord spoke to all of us. The reason why it's not like that anymore is because we didn't want to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? So when you push somebody up to that forefront, that's what happens. The light gets shines on them. So much so to where they're so bright in their righteousness that you can't even stand to look upon them. And that's what happens when you come into the truth. When you change and you become a new creation and a new person, and people look upon you from the world and who you used to be, they can't stand to look at you out. What you mean you can't come to the family crawfish boy? Boy, you've been eating crawfish since you was a baby. You know what I'm saying? What you mean you can't come to the 4th of July? What you mean you can't come to Christmas? That's the only time the family get together. Oh, you a goody two shoes. You think you are holier than thou. You know what I'm saying? But the number one lesson you gotta remember is what Christ said. No man is a prophet in his hometown. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because all your mama gonna see is the weed head. You know what I'm saying? All your daddy gonna see is a person who butt that he had to wipe all the time. He's not gonna see a priest and prophet. He's gonna see a child. You know what I'm saying? Your homeboy is gonna see the person that used to be a whoremonger with him. You know what I'm saying? Your homegirls, that's all they gonna see. Who you used to be. You understand? And that's what you got to keep in mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the scripture says you have to let your light shine amongst men. All right. All right, let's jump into it. All right. So we had Genesis 41 and 1. All right. Genesis 41 and 1. All right, when you got it, go ahead and read it. No, you good, brother. An excellent question, by the way.
Thank you,
Excellent question.
41 and 1. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years.
At the end of how long?
2 full years.
All right. So, well, keep reading. Keep reading.
That Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2.
All right. So, Joseph has been in prison post the butler getting out for 2 years, right? So we already know Joseph had been in prison for a minute, right? Because Potiphar put him in prison, you know what I'm saying, for the accusation of messing with his wife, but we know that was a lie, right? She lied, you know what I'm saying? So, and then when the chief butler and the chief baker was sitting there, he had already been in there, and then he spent a season in prison with them. Don't say how long the season is, but we know season's at least 4 months. You know what I'm saying? And then after they got out, now it's been 2 years. Now, I brought up last time, just because you serve the Lord does not mean that you will not go through hard times. Does not mean that you will not see destruction. You understand? You could do nothing wrong and go to prison. You understand? All right. Give me matter of fact, so we got a couple of readers. It was Jamarcus. All right, Jamarcus, give me Ecclesiastes 1 and 1. We're gonna go to 10, and then Jarvis, brother Jarvis, give me Psalms 1 and drop down to where I think it's verse 4, where it says tree planted by the rivers of the waters. All right. All right, so yeah, let's do Ecclesiastes 1 and 1 first. Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, verse 1, chapter 1, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Verse 2. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanity, all is vanity. Verse 3. What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4, one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh.
All right. So first thing that you got to understand, everything that you think is right in this life is vanity, right? You know, we working to get a house. I mean, apartment should suffice. It's shelter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no difference between hamburger helper and wagyu beef. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
feel me?
Right.
Beef is beef, chicken is chicken, shelter is shelter, right? But the type of shelter and the type of food that you want is vanity, right? That's the first thing that you got to understand, right? Now, go to verse 3.
Verse 3.
I'm sorry, chapter 3.
Chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Con out of one con. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season.
To everything there's a what?
A season.
A what?
A season.
You understand? Everything that you go through in life, it's about seasons. And if you think about that, and you keep that in mind when you go through stuff in life, let's just be like, hey man, it's my autumn. It's my fall. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I may be in fall right now. I may be in winter, but guess what? Spring is coming.
Right.
You understand?
Yep.
So just because you serve the Lord,
Right.
that don't mean that fall not coming. That don't mean that winter not coming. Some things in your life gotta die in order for you to grow.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And Joseph, he was already kidnapped, you know what I'm saying, from his father's house, sold into slavery, rose up in Potiphar's house, was lied on his job, caught a sexual harassment case that he was clearly innocent of, you know what I'm saying? And then not only did he get fired, he got convicted and sent to prison.
Right.
How many brothers have been falsely convicted behind an oppressor or a white woman lying?
Millions out of them.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, whole cities have been destroyed, huh?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Rosewood, Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, bro, Emmett Till got his whole face rearranged for whistling. He didn't go talk to her. He just whistled. He was a kid, huh?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep reading. Verse 2.
And a time to every purpose under the heaven.
You understand? So just because you're in hell, there's a purpose for you to be in hell. Huh? Because if you still had that job with that 401k, you know what I'm saying, with those benefits, you understand, you might not be hearing the truth.
Right.
If you had that 6-figure salary, you might not be hearing the truth. The scripture says, broad is the path of destruction, narrow is the way to life. You understand?
Right.
For a rich man, it's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Because why you got to pray to keep your lights on? You got the money to keep your lights on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What you need to pray to God for food for, you can go to Whole Foods.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can get DoorDash. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, you can go anywhere you want. You don't need the Lord for nothing. You understand? So it's a lot harder for someone in power to follow the Lord than someone that's in an impoverished mindset. I always tell people, poverty will save your life. You know what I'm saying? If you're an alcoholic, if you have all the money in the world, you're going to drink yourself to death. If you a weed head, you're going to smoke until you get lung cancer. You know what I'm saying? If you do cocaine, you're going to snort as many slows until you get an overdose. Poverty is a buffer to save your life. The Lord will keep you in a condition. Do me a favor, I'll close that door. Yakabah got it. Yakabah got it. The Lord will put you in a position to where he'll take everything from you because these things are a distraction, because he needs you to move to this place so this can happen, but you too complacent here. So you won't choose to move. So he has to move you. So there's a season for everything. Go ahead.
Salaki Idawan. Now, you know, in my life, I made a lot of bad decisions.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? But I think if I would have made better decisions, I probably wouldn't be here. You get what I'm saying? Now, in my mind, that kind of sound backwards. You get what I'm saying? Like, but and the things that happened to me, like the results of my bad decisions, I wish they wouldn't have happened. You get what I'm saying? But I'm kind of feel blessed that I did go through those problems and have those downfalls.
Because you a completely different. I can attest that you a completely different person.
But I'm saying I came here. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm in the truth. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If I was out there if I would have never did drugs, say, you know
Right.
what I'm saying, and would have went off to be some football star or something like that, probably would have just been some deviant or something. You get what I'm saying?
Brother, I'll say it like this, bro. Before I came into the truth, I was working for the number one tax firm in Houston, the 179D, which is Sustainable Design, because my degree is in architecture, right?
Right.
I went from making $95,000 a year to $17 an hour. You understand? And if I wouldn't have got knocked off of that high horse, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I never looked at my bank account. You know what I'm saying? I never I just lived a life of pleasure. You know what I'm saying? And when you live a life like that, you'll destroy yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Like if your whole life amounts to what makes you feel good, the scripture says that the heart is deceitful above all things. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have something as a buffer, you understand, to control your heart and your mind, you will die.
Right.
You understand? All right, let's get back to it.
Gotcha. Verse 2.
Let's see, it's 644. Drop down to drop down to verse 8. You're gonna read from verse 8 to verse 10.
Con out of one con. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Verse 9. What profit hath he that worketh in the wherein he laboreth? Verse 10. I have seen the travail, which God
means hard times. Go ahead.
Which God had given to the sons of men to be exercised in it.
To be what in it?
Exercised.
You understand? The Lord gives you hard times to exercise you in it. What does it mean to exercise you? Come on, man. Like, bro. Like, what you got? Like, how do you get swollen in the gym? What does it take to get swollen? But what is the most key part about working out that everybody got to go through?
Weak phase.
No, not consistency.
Weak phase.
Okay, what is the thing that nobody likes about the weak phase?
That it's hardship.
What makes it hard? But what happens? Okay, if I've never bench pressed 225 before, not only that, but okay, let's just say I finally hit 225, right? And I never hit it before. What is guaranteed is gonna happen over the next 2 days?
You're gonna be sore.
You're gonna be what?
Sore.
So to get exercise, man, you got to go through pain. There is no growth without pain. You understand? That's why in Isaiah 48, 9, and 10, he said that I will choose thee and refine thee, not like silver, but in the furnace of affliction. You understand? So right now, Joseph got knocked down from being a prince. You understand? Because he was a prince in his father's house. We already broke down the type of royalty, because Abraham wasn't broke, Isaac wasn't broke, and Jacob, Slacky, for damn sure wasn't broke. I mean, hell, He gave his brother, we broke down in today's time, livestock costs. He gave his brother $750,000 as a gift in livestock. So if you can afford to give somebody $750,000 in livestock and it don't affect you, you good. You know what I'm saying? And that's his father. So he came from being a prince, got kidnapped, sold into slavery, rose up, you know what I'm saying? He worked through the ladder, rose up in Potiphar's house, got lied on, you know what I'm saying? Falsely accused, fired, thrown in prison. Then he rose up in prison. You know what I'm saying? If you notice in the pattern, the Lord was with him in his father's house. When he was kidnapped and thrown into slavery and rose up, the Lord was with him. You understand? Because really, if somebody catches you trying to rape their wife, they 9 times out of 10 they gonna kill you, especially during those times. But that didn't happen because the Lord was with him. He got knocked down and pegged in, thrown into prison, and each time the person that was put over him saw how the Lord was with him, and they put him over everything. You understand? So no matter what situation he's gone through, the Lord has been with him consistently. You understand? But he has to go through this pain because there is a purpose in the pain. Because if you don't get these lessons where the Lord is taking you, you're guaranteed to fail. All right. Somebody give me I think you had Psalms 1 for me, where it talks about trees planted by the rivers of the water.
Psalms 1 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
Now, the key part about that scripture, it didn't say that the tree was just going to immediately prosper. There you go, brother. They said that he was going to do it in his due season. You understand? So just because you come into the truth, that don't mean you're going to be able to break down scriptures like that. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that your car might not get repoed. That don't mean that you might not get an eviction. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that your rib that you have right now might not leave you and take the kids and put you on child support. That's not what that means. I always use this example. Everything that you embraced walking away from the Lord, you got to face that walking to the Lord. You understand? So if you was a weed head, you got to get over being around weed. You know what I'm saying? If you was an alcoholic, you got to get over being around alcohol and maintaining your sobriety. You know what I'm saying? If you were a whoremonger, you know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to discipline yourself, you know what I'm saying, around women and being a righteous man. Same thing if you were a whore. You got to learn to discipline yourself and to become a righteous, virtuous woman. You understand? Because what the Lord gives you over here, if you fall, you can't take what the Lord gives you going into the world. Just like you had to leave everything from the world to get what the Lord has for you. If you are in the truth and the Lord gives you a new wife, gives you a new job, gives you the home that you desire, you know what I'm saying? If you leave the truth, everything that you gain in the truth, you're going to lose it. Just like you had to lose everything that you gained wickedly in the world to come to righteousness. You know what I'm saying? The corruptible can't put on the uncorruptible. You understand? The mortal can't put on the immortal and vice versa. You can't do it. You understand? So this is a washing away. You understand what Joseph is going through? Because you remember, like, in between this story, you know, we found out, you know, his brothers, you know, they not all righteous. You know what I'm saying? Reuben lay with his father's wife. You know what I'm saying? Judah, we found out that he loved them hoes. You know what I'm saying? Because he was hanging out with the Hamites, you know what I'm saying? And wasn't righteous to his daughter-in-law, Tamar. You understand? And she had to adorn herself in harlot attire just to get what her father-in-law promised her. You understand? So the Lord had to remove Joseph from his father's house, just like he removed Abraham from his father's house. You understand? In order to build him up to save his house, which is the house of the Lord. But you got to be willing to go through the bad seasons. You understand? As a nation, we're in a bad season. We are POWs. We are prisoners of war. You understand? That's why there's no vindication for Trayvon Martin. There's no vindication for Sandra Bland, for George Floyd, for Alton Sterling, for Philando Castile. You understand? There's no vindication because we are prisoners of war. We are a nationless people. Just like it says in Psalms 83, because of crafty counsel. You understand? All the nations have ganged up against us so that the name of Israel will be no more in remembrance. You understand? Go ahead.
Salakia are the one, and they doing a real good job because people don't even know they are Israel.
Brother, we are utterly destroyed as a people. You understand? When I see your Sukianas, your Sexy Reds, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are utterly, like, bro, Sexy Red got a lipstick called gonorrhea. It's green. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoredom is pushed on our people because our enemies know, just like they do then, as long as they can get us to break the law, statutes, and commandments, they'll have lordship over us because it's one of the curses. They know our entire playbook. And what's crazy is in this book, you can believe that you the Gentile, but somebody call you the son of God. You like, who you talking to? Because you know, if you take on that son of God title, you have accountability. You understand? You have to be responsible. And nobody wants to be responsible. We the same people that was in the wilderness with Moses in the wilderness. The same people that said, you go talk to the Lord, you know what I'm saying, lest we die. You can just die. You know what I'm saying? We don't all got to die. You understand? Because I always say this, I say this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to go to heaven, but don't nobody want to die. You understand? And in order to go to heaven, you got to go through the first death, which is killing yourself. You think it feels good not to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster? I mean, I wasn't always in the truth. When I went in the truth, pork tasted good. I'm just going to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Brother, I used to love to smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, brother, when I walk outside and I smell somebody light up some ooh wee, I'd be like, ooh wee, somebody got it in the air. You know what I'm saying? Because your flesh desires to sin, but you have to cut your flesh and to do something that your bodily naturally desires. Is like cutting off your arm. Because in order that Christ doesn't kill you with the second death, you know, when you say, bring him hither before me, you know what I'm saying, and slay him, you know what I'm saying, or get away from me, I never knew you, you understand, and he slay you. Because remember, in Revelation, it said the nigga that pierced him on the side gonna see him when he come on that cloud. You feel me? So in order for you not to experience that death, you got to kill yourself now. And it's not gonna feel good. You understand? General Muhammad says this all the time. To be in the truth in this world is to be on the losing side. You're not going to be on the popular team. You're going to be the most hated, the most underrated. You understand? Nobody's going to like you. You understand? If you dream of being a super rap star and an entertainer, you're in the wrong profession. Go ahead, brother.
When I used to be young and I used to train all the time and stuff like that, I I was lonely. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was, I wasn't no angel or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But just to be trying to be a good football player or athlete or something like that, I used to like sacrifice time with people and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just that. You get what I'm saying? So
how much more so to be a great priest?
right, that's what I'm saying.
You understand? Like to be great at anything requires time. I mean, everybody heard of the 10,000 hour rule, right?
Right.
It takes 10,000 hours to be great at anything. You understand? So, but outside of that 10,000 hours, what makes being a priest that much harder is that you don't get no time off. Huh? Like it's 24/7, 365. I mean, you will be under spiritual attack in your sleep. You know what I'm saying? When you in your dreams, right? You know what I'm saying? You got to fight them spirits. Then you wake up. You know what I'm saying? You got to fight the spirits, you know what I'm saying, on your job. You know what I'm saying? Then you come home, you know, God forbid, you got a dragon at the house. You got to deal with them spirits. And then don't have a wayward child. Then you got to deal with that spirit. You understand? So there isn't any peace when you in hell. You understand? But the reason why you have to go through this furnace of affliction is to prove yourself worthy. You got to understand, Satan is the district attorney. His job is to prove that you're unworthy of your crown. You understand? Christ is the defense. It's like, okay, well, yeah, I understand he did this, but he did this. Well, Satan's like, well, he did this. Well, I understand, but he also did this. You understand? So you gotta lean in. When you're going through hard times, like a man's character or a woman's character isn't determined when things are good. It's when things are bad. You understand? That's what's going to determine if you're worthy. Because when everything is good, everybody's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? What you need, I got you. But how about when your light's about to get cut off and somebody, you know, asks you for $1 so they can get them something to eat? You understand? Do you have that same brotherhood? You know what I'm saying? Do you have that same vitriol? You understand what I'm saying? All right, so let's get back to it. Back in Genesis. 41:2.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kind.
So what he's about to go through right now is Pharaoh's dream, all right? So we're going to run through it. We're going to get to verse 8. Go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, there came out of the river 7 well-favored, kind and fat-fleshed, and they fed in the meadow.
You know what kind is, right?
The same.
No, kind. Kine. You know what kind is? It's a cow. It's a heifer.
Oh, okay.
All right, go ahead.
And they fed in the meadow.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. And behold, 7 other kind came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kind upon the brink of the river. Verse 4. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kind did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kind. So Pharaoh awoke.
All right, so now remember last class was about breaking down dreams. Right? And what dreams are. All right, so based off of last class, where do dreams come from? Malaki, give him the mic. Where the other mic at? Oh, what you call got it in the back. Where do dreams come from?
Dreams come from the Lord.
How do you know that?
Because
you are correct. But how do you know that? Based off of what?
Based off what happens.
Okay, expound.
Like when there's things that are bothering you in life or whatever, or something that you need to know that the Lord's trying to tell you that you're not understanding, He comes to you in your mind,
right,
in your sleep.
right. So it's just like a child's like some kids, you can just tell them, don't put your hand on the stove. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to give them explanation of why you don't put your hand on the stove. Some kids, they got to get threatened with fire. You know what I'm saying? Look, you see that fire, you're going to burn yourself. Hot, hurt. You know what I'm saying? That's the dream, right? Then you got some of them that just got to get burned. You know what I'm saying? So the threat of a vision, right? Because that's what a dream is, right? Dream is a new age term, right? In biblical times, it would be a vision, right? We as children of Israel, we just don't have those random dreams like other nations have. Like we don't have like the random dream like where you're naked, you know what I'm saying, running through the school and everybody laughing at you and stuff like that, right? You know, and then 9 times out of 10, you'll have a season where you don't have visions or dreams, and then out of nowhere, you'll have a dream that's as real as you sitting in this room, and then like it'll wake you out of your sleep. It'll bother you, like what the hell does that mean? You know what I'm saying? And those are omens. Those are the Lord trying to warn you of something either that's impeding, that's coming, right? Or something that you need to change. All right. So that's what's happening right here. All right. Keep reading.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And he slept and dreamed the second time. And behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk,
Mm-hmm.
rank and good.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. And behold, 7 thin ears and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears.
Mm-hmm.
And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream.
All right. So remember, just like with the chief butler and the chief baker, there was similarities in their dreams, right?
Right.
With the chief butler, he had a dream where it was a tree that had 3 branches, right? And the 3 branches represented 3 days. With the chief baker, he had 3 hats, right? The 3 hats, the threes, right? You'll have when you have these dreams, it'll be things that'll show up and appear in numbers: 3s, 7s, 2s, 8s. You know what I'm saying? These things are synonymous for a reason, for it to catch your attention, right? And 9 times out of 10 is to either give you a time frame or to give you a measure.
Right.
All right. Keep reading.
Verse 8. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled.
His what?
His spirit was troubled.
Why was his spirit troubled? Well, what troubled his spirit?
The nature of the dreams.
Okay. But how do you, what gives you the dreams? Okay.
Most High.
Okay. How does the Most High give you the dreams? Do you remember from last class? The key word is in the beginning of the verse. Read the beginning of verse 8.
And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was in the spirit.
In the spirit.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because we pulled that the Most High is a what?
It's a spirit.
Is a spirit.
Right.
Right? That dwells in the 4th dimension. Right. And the Most High gives you dreams, gives you visions. Right. So the only thing that can give clarification in the spirit is a spirit, right? So there are multiple different types of spirits, right? I'm gonna give you a couple of different examples. Somebody give me 1 Kings 22 and 20. Somebody give me Numbers 5 and 14. And somebody give me Galatians 5 and 22. Whoever got 1 Kings 22 and 20, read first. You got it.
Somebody else?
Somebody got First Kings. Who got First Kings?
I got it.
All right, go ahead.
This is the book of First Kings,
22.
chapter 22, verse 20.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Galilee?
Mm-hmm. Now this is the Lord talking to his angels, right? This is the Lord. The Most High is a spirit, right? All right, keep reading.
And one said on this manner, and the other, and another said on that manner.
So these are all the different angels, the different spirits talking to one another, right? You know, they negotiating who gonna go and do it, right?
Right.
Keep reading.
Verse 21. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. Verse 22. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth.
What?
A lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets.
All right. So one thing that you have to understand, angels and demons, they both work for the Most High.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have archangels who are war angels. You got 24 elders. You got the 4 angels that's around the throne of the Most High. And then you got the cherubim and the seraphim that go up and down on Jacob's ladder, observing and reporting to the Most High. You understand? So you have angels that have different jobs, right? But all of them work for the Lord. You understand? And in this case, we're talking about a lying spirit. You understand? The Lord will send a lying spirit to your enemy to destroy you. The Lord came to Pharaoh in the dream when he took Sarah, Abraham's wife, and he said, nigga, you a dead man. Because the woman that you have in your midst is not a single woman. She's a married woman. He told Pharaoh in a dream, I will kill you. You understand? So there are different types of spirits, right? So this one's a lying spirit. All right. Somebody give me the next one I asked for. Somebody give me Numbers 15 and 14. Whoever got it. Here, grab the mic.
Numbers 15 and 14. And if a stranger sojourn with you, or whosoever be among you in your generation, and will offer an offering made by fire of a sweet savor.
I'm sorry, Numbers 5 and 14. I apologize.
Numbers 5 and 14. And the spirit of jealousy came upon him, and he be jealous of his wife.
You understand? So there for every emotion that you have, it is a spirit. You understand? If you're not at peace, you have a spirit on you, right? So when we say you got a demon on you, right? You understand? That's just an old word for spirit. You understand? There's a spirit of love, there's a spirit of joy, there's a spirit of anger. You understand? There's a spirit of jealousy, there's a spirit of lying, there's a spirit of deceit. You understand? And whatever, if you're not in a peaceful state of mind, you're out of the spirit, which means that you have a demon on you. You know what I'm saying? So when we're about to find out, you know what I'm saying, as we read further in verse 8, who he's going to go talk to try and discern these dreams, right? Who has the next one? What I asked for, Galatians 5 and 22. Malakia, give me what I want you to give me. It's in Daniel. Give me Daniel 2 and 11, nephew. All right, whoever got Galatians, go ahead and read. Galatians 5 and 22. Oh man, Salagi, y'all been commenting in the chat. I ain't been paying attention. And if y'all have any questions in the chat, go ahead and type them in. I'll get to them at the end of class. All right, you got Galatians. Go ahead.
Kind out of one kind. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love,
Mm-hmm.
joy,
Mm-hmm.
peace,
Mm-hmm.
long suffering,
Mm-hmm.
gentleness,
Mm-hmm.
goodness,
Mm-hmm.
faith.
Mm-hmm.
23. Meekness,
Mm-hmm.
temperance.
Mm-hmm.
Against such there is no law.
You understand? Like, brother, if you have these spirits, you can't be moved. You know what I'm saying? It's like that Jay-Z song, you know what I'm saying? Can't move the unmovable. You'll shake the unshakable. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna say Hobie, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? But when you have these spirits, nothing can affect you. Right? It's real. It takes strength to be meek. It takes strength to be kind. It definitely takes strength to be long suffering, right? And 9 times out of 10, the people that are the most patient are the people that's gone through the most in their life. You understand? The reason why some people can have patient with knuckleheads and some people can't, because 9 times out of 10, they were probably the knucklehead when they were kids. You understand? And they understand what he's going through. They understand why he's angry, why he want to fight all the time. You understand? It's interesting how a black, Hispanic, or Native American teacher will talk to a child when they see the child acting out versus a teacher from another nation. Because 9 times out of 10, they know Jose probably didn't get breakfast this morning. That's probably why he acting up. You understand? Or the reason why Jacoby want to fight all the time, you understand, is probably because, you know, he didn't he don't got nowhere to lay his head. You know what I'm saying? Or he's still in the same clothes. That's the reason why he jack everybody for their shoes. You know what I'm saying? Or steal their clothes. You feel me? When they in the gym in the locker room, because he don't got no good clothes at the house. So instead of being talked about, he rather be feared. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But only we understand that because we've gone through that. You understand? Nowhere, anywhere else in the world does your oppressor teach your children. You understand? If you go and ask a white man, East Indian, an African, an Asian, would you allow your enemy to teach your children? You know what they're gonna say? No. But we do it. You understand? That's the reason why schools are literally set up like prisons. You know what I'm saying? Like the little carts that they put the food on, it literally looks like the same food tray they serve in prison. The cafeteria tables literally look like the same tables in prison. The only difference is they're not bolted down. You understand? The same checkpoint that you got to go through to get into the school is just like when you come into prison. Everything is exactly the same because they are classically conditioning your children. When your oppressor, they don't send their kids to public school. You understand? They send them to private institutions, magnet programs. You understand? Boarding schools where they go travel abroad. What you're reading in books, they send their kids to those places to learn about them. You know what I'm saying? While they teach your children how to be slaves. Go ahead, Yakubad.
There's something about the schools and stuff because I just checked this thing out. It was a video, and there was somebody who came over here from abroad to study, and they said when they got there, they said, "What's the main thing that you happy you don't got to do that they do over there?" Dude said multiple choice tests, basically the standardized test, and basically what the guy was leading to, he led to you got to know the answer over there. It's not written down on right there in front of you for you pick the answer. When they do their tests, they got to actually write the answer down on every question. There's no
it's not.
choice.
It's just either you're right or you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's not you almost got it. You were close to the answer. No, it's their test is fill in the blank always. You know what I'm saying? All right. Give me the scripture that I asked for in Daniel, nephew, and then we'll move forward.
Khan, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a rare thing that the king requireth, and there is none other that can shew it before the king,
Mm-hmm.
except the gods whose dwelling is not with the flesh.
Now, that gods, is that lowercase g or uppercase g?
Lowercase.
So what does that mean?
It's an angel or demon.
Right. So God's lower. You ain't done. You ain't done. Keep that mic. You ain't done. You're gonna drop down the verse 20. All right. So when you see God's lowercase g, that can be us. That can be Baal. That can be Yemiya. That can be Obatala, Ogun. That can be Buddha. That can be Krishna. You know what I'm saying? That can be anything. Anything that you idolize. Right? It could be any spirit. But the key thing that you gotta he about to say it. Go ahead, read verse 20.
Khan. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his.
Verse 27.
Verse 27. Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, The secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, and the soothsayers shew unto the king.
You understand? So the only things that are shown in secret in the spirit can only be revealed by a spirit. You understand? So soothsayers operate with the spirit. Wizards and sorcerers and witches, warlocks, they operate with a spirit. You understand? Like, there are many different spirits. You understand? There's only one most high God, but there are spirits out here. You know what I'm saying? And they'll tell you half truths. Like, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like Yemiya, Ogun, Obatala, like all of that stuff, that's real. Because it's a spirit that they coerce with. You understand? They have their own way of casting lots to ask questions, just like the high priest. You know what I'm saying? And the Levites, when they used to cast a Urim and a Thummim, when they needed an immediate answer from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They have their own way of doing that because they have their own spiritual system. Like, don't get it twisted. That's just their God and their spiritual system. Like, this is like the Most High is our God, and this is our spiritual system. You understand? Every culture has a spirit that they deal with. You understand? If you in Asia Major, it's Buddha. If you in Asia Minor, it's Krishna, Kali. I forget, it's like a million of them over there. You know what I'm saying? In the Arabian Peninsula, it's Allah. You know, the Orisha pantheon, dealing with West Central South Africa. You understand? So all of these cultures, that's what they are. They're nations, they're cultures. They have their own spiritual system. And all religion is practicing another nation's spiritual system that's not your own. Because if you were following your own spiritual system, you wouldn't call it a religion. You would call it culture because it's your culture. You understand? So we about to read in verse 8, Pharaoh, he had people from all different walks and all different cultures. All right, keep reading verse 8.
This is the book of Genesis.
Yeah, 41. There you go.
Chapter 41, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh.
You understand? All of these people, all of these magicians, all of these wise men, they all consorted with a familiar spirit. You understand? Matter of fact, somebody give me that. Somebody give me Leviticus 19 and 31. I'll ask for another one in Leviticus from that person. Somebody hold Deuteronomy 18:11, and then somebody hold Isaiah 8 and 19. And you can, Go ahead. Leviticus 19 and 31. Go ahead.
Leviticus 19:31. Regard not them that they have familiar spirits, neither seek ye after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God.
Okay, so when you go and get palm readings, you know what I'm saying, tarot readings, you understand, I forgot what it's called in Santeria, when they cast the lots to give you readings, you know what I'm saying, they're consorting with a familiar spirit. You understand? Like this stuff is real. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the smoke and mirrors that Hollywood shows you, but it's real. You know what I'm saying? Since you in Leviticus drop down and give me what is it? 20 and 26. Leviticus 20 and 26, and then somebody give me Deuteronomy 18 and 11. Then somebody hold Isaiah 8 and 19.
Leviticus 20 and 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I am the Lord am holy, and have served you from what is have served Salakia, have served you from other people, that ye should be mine.
All right. So the Lord has severed you from all the other nations. You understand? The reason why he severed you from all the other nations is because all these other nations have God. And don't get it twisted. Like, we come from Mesopotamia. You understand? If anybody knows anything about Mesopotamia, that's where the Sumerian gods come from. That's Enlil, that's Enki, that's Marduk, that's Anu. You know what I'm saying? I showed you in the Bible literally where Anu is in the Bible. You understand? The temple of Anu is in the Bible. I literally showed you the scripture that showed it. And in Hebrew, the Hebrew word literally says temple of Anu. Anu is the chief of the pantheon of the Sumerian gods. So these spirits are real. You understand? And he's telling you not to consort with them. You understand? Because it's not because it's because your family has made a blood pact and a blood oath with the Most High Yahweh. I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter if you believe in the Most High in Christ or not. You can't change the blood that runs through your veins. And because of the blood that runs through your veins, whether you take full advantages of the blessings, that don't mean that the curses don't apply. You understand? And that is the reason why we're destroyed, because we think that the curses don't apply. And all you got to do is just look on social media, look at our economic condition in the United States of America. You know what I'm saying? We don't have, there's no Black, Hispanic, or Native American land. There's no Negro land. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, we don't have an army. We don't have a military. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people all the time, you never see an African get gunned down by the police. You never see an Asian get gunned down by the police. You understand? You never see a Arab get gunned down by the police. You understand? You want to know why? Because if they do that, it's an act of war. You understand? The reason why they can just get away with killing us is because we're prisoners of war. You understand? We are occupied prisoners. The United States of America is a prison for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You speak the language of your oppressor, just like the Native Americans speak the language of their oppressor, just like the Hispanics. Like, the Hispanics, they're not from Spain. They're not from Portugal. You understand? But they speak Portuguese and Spanish. You're not from England, but you speak English. You understand? You're in the same conditions. Your neighborhoods are ruled by drugs and violence. It's the same thing in South Central America. Have you seen the condition of Venezuela? They're doing this intentionally because they know who you are. And the moment that you realize it and you stop playing their game, it's over. And they can't allow that to happen. That's why Christ has to come back. Because Christ says if the Most High said if he doesn't send his son, there's not going to be anyone else to save. That's why he's sending him expediently. Because brother, I can't see how much worse it can get in generations. I remember like to see someone kiss on TV was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Seeing applied cleavage on TV was a big deal. Now you got the LGBTQ elemental P plastered all over television, all right? You know what I'm saying? To the point to where, like, I got to fast forward and cover my eyes like my mama used to do me when I was a kid because I don't want to see it. And I don't know if you knew, but in every major society before it fell, there was a high rise in homosexuality and deviancy and sexual deviancy in every society. Look it up. The Babylonians, the Persians and the Medes, the Greco-Roman Empire. Well, we still technically in the Roman Empire, technically. You know what I'm saying? But before it fell, this is what happened. And to think and believe that America would never fall, you a damn fool. Egypt fell. Babylon fell. Persia fell. Greece fell. You know what I'm saying? You don't think America's gonna fall? You a damn fool. You crazy in your head. You understand? And you should pray for it. Because through that, you get your freedom, your independence. But nobody wants to go in the wilderness because you want to know why? It means you got to find your own source of water. You got to create your own food supply. You know what I'm saying? You got to have your own municipalities. You understand? You actually have to put up fences to protect not only what you have, but to protect your livestock. You know what I'm saying? You have to physically protect your family. You understand? You have to police your land. You have to do what we should have been doing this entire time. Because if you follow the law, statutes, and commandments, you don't got to worry about when them red and blue lights come on behind you. Because if you follow 613 laws to the vast volumes of laws in the Library of Congress. It kills me. How can I follow 613 laws? Well, how do you follow all the volumes of laws in Congress? But you can't follow 613? That's insane to me. That's crazy. And if you do that, it says that you will be above all nations. I mean, technically, you're there now. You just don't have the spirit, you have a spirit, it's just not liking on the knowledge. Because Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're the most spiritual people on the face of the earth. Nobody praises the Lord like Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. I mean, we are when it comes to spirituality on the face of the earth, we are the driving force. Nobody's a Muslim like Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Nobody does Ifa, Santeria, and Voodoo like Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is a Christian like Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? That's because the spirit of the Lord dwells inside of you. You understand? You have a spirit to serve a spiritual power greater than you, but you just don't know how to call on your power. You understand? But all we have to do is just get back. Majority of our people have literally had this book either on their coffee table, on their dashboard, in their car. You know what I'm saying? And it's just been collecting dust. But if you literally just opened it and read it, you would see that this book is literally talking about you. Everything in this book is talking about you. Like everything that people, every person they praise in this book is somebody like you. This book is filled with ex-cons, killers. You know what I'm saying? Liars. You know what I'm saying? Ex-whores. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is those are the people that the Christian church look down upon. The same people that they praise in the Bible. I mean, every great person that's in this book is an ex-con. All of them been to prison. Christ has been to prison. We talking about Joseph. He's in prison right now. You know what I'm saying? And from Joseph, we get 2 tribes of the nation of Israel. So if they got to go through it, what is an eviction? What is a repossession? What is a job loss? You haven't suffered on the blood. You understand? You ain't been put in solitary confinement. You understand? You hadn't been told to deny Christ or die. You understand? You ain't facing none of that. You had a job before this job, you get another one. You had a car before this car, and if you didn't, buses are still running. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? If where you gotta go is close enough, you get a bike. Stack your bread. But you gotta get set back in order for the Lord to come back. All of this gotta take place. You understand? We gotta go through hell to get heaven. You understand? Because the reason why is because we don't appreciate it. If you don't believe me, just read the book of Judges. Every time that we got delivered, we would forget and go right back into slavery. The Lord had to raise up a judge to deliver us. And it happened over and over and over and over. And the Lord got tired of it to the point where he was like, your sacrifices mean nothing. You want to be like everybody. It wasn't enough that you was a king in your house. You wanted to have a big king like every other nation had a big king. No man was over you. Every man was big dog. You know what I'm saying? That's how, and what's crazy is that's how we all interact today. That's why when somebody step on your sneakers, you want to kill them because you're royalty. How dare a commoner step on my shoe? You are that arrogant today like you're royalty because you are. You just don't have a spirit like and under knowledge. And that's why the Lord had to humble us. Because it takes strength to be kind. Hey, brother, don't worry about it. It's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? Shoes is meant for walking. You understand? To kill your brother over shoes. Insane. All right, come on, let's get back to it. Was that give me he read who was holding Deuteronomy 8 and 11? Who was holding that? It's all good. Grab that for me. Then who holding Isaiah 8:19? Here, give him the mic for Isaiah 8:19 while you getting Deuteronomy.
Isaiah 8 and 19. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep, and that muter, should not a people seek unto their God?
You understand? So why would you go seek after someone else that consults a spirit that's not your God? Right? If you want to understand what's going to happen, why not go to a priest and prophet in your own spiritual system? That's what they're there for. That's what your elders are there for. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we were in our right mind and walking like we were supposed to, you'd be able to go to Big Mama or Papa, like, look, I had a dream. You know what I'm saying? And because Big Mama and Papa done been around for a while, they didn't live righteously, they done heard a couple of dreams. Tell me about the dream. You know what I'm saying? And if they can't discern it, they can talk amongst their elders. Well, you know, my grandson had a dream the other night. Well, you know what? My grandson had a dream just like that. And this is what happened. But we don't have that anymore. Because instead of Big Mama being 65, she's 25. You know what I'm saying? Instead of Papa being 75, he's 35. You know what I'm saying? We don't have any more elders in our community. You understand? That class has literally died off. So now you got fools leading fools, and the blind leading the blind, and the destroyed leading the destroyed. You understand? How can how can someone that's never been married counsel you on marriage? But you getting counsel from the thought committee. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You getting counsel from the whoremonger coalition. You know what I'm saying? But you expect them to understand bro, why you putting up with that, bro? You don't gotta go home, bro. You know what I'm saying? But they've never had peace. All they know is chaos. They don't know what it is to sacrifice and compromise for someone else because they live a life of selfishness. You understand? That's not peaceful, huh? When you live solely for yourself, you're constantly going to be in conflict for others because you only look out for yourself. You don't look out for nobody else. So when it comes time when you down, you don't got nobody to look out for you. The scripture says, I mean, if two lay in the bed, a cold bed is warm. Huh? You understand? All right. All right, verse 9. Oh, you got Deuteronomy. Read Deuteronomy.
I don't want to This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 11. Or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or wizard, or a necromancer.
All right. So these are the type of wise men that Pharaoh was consulting.
Right.
None of them could answer the dream. So Pharaoh consulted all the spirits of the earth. You understand? Because he spoke to all the priests and prophets of all the different spiritual systems of the earth. None of them could discern his dream because that vision didn't come from none of those spirits. Because a spirit can give you a dream, huh? You understand? If you living out here in this wayward world, whatever spirit you open yourself up to, they have full reign over your mind because you are outside of the covering of the Lord. To the point where it's people out there, they make covenants with evil spirits. I mean, this should not blow your mind. You know what I'm saying? It should not. I mean, at this day and age, with everything being revealed, it should not blow your mind that there are governments, principalities, and powers in the high places that have made pacts with evil spirits. When in history class, we brought out that Alexander the Great literally made a pact with the spiritual embodiment of Satan. We brought that out in historic records. So understand this. The scripture says to test every spirit. Even if you have a dream, see, does that dream line up with the law, statutes, and commandments? That's the first thing. If you can't understand your dream, just analyze it. Is there anything about this dream that is unrighteous? If it's not, then it's of the Lord. So now what is the Lord trying to tell me? Because you'll be tempted by other spirits. It's going to happen, especially really walking in this truth. All right, verse 9 in Genesis 41.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 9. Then spoke the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Verse 10. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me in ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. Verse 11. And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. He dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. Verse 12. And there was there with us a young man, an Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret.
So why is the chief butler saying I remembered my fault? Go ahead.
Because Joseph told him to remember him and he forgot him.
And how long has it been? Read verse 1.
Verse 1.
What'd you say? Get it, brother.
2 4
you know
years.
What I'm saying? Like, bro, it's been 2 years, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like just imagine if like we know, like, if we had something in our mind, like, dang, I was supposed to do something today. You know what I'm saying? They get to the end of the day and they remember, be like, God, dog, I was supposed to do this, and you know how you jump to it. Right. Imagine if 2 years pass and something's recalled to your memory that you were supposed to do. Brother, feel bad. Man, bro, I'm out here living it up. You know what I'm saying? Putting syrup in Pharaoh cup. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And my boys still that looked out for me. You know what I'm saying? They gave me hope in a place that was hopeless.
Right.
Forgot about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
And it came to servant.
You had
And he did
go ahead.
right, 13. And it came to pass as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto mine office, and him he hanged.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved himself and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh.
Somebody give me Psalms 105. You're gonna start at verse 17. All right. So if you gotta go through hell, you understand? Okay, I ask it like this, right? When a woman goes through childbirth, is it painful? Right, it's sometimes life taking. But if they make it through childbirth, right? If it's so painful, why do they want another baby? You want to know that's like the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So my mama had my brother. He 2 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor said, you have a massive heart problem. You can't have no more kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, she was on all of pills to not have kids, right? I was born. In the first trimester, they said, abort the baby. And my mama said, I'm going to die behind my son. So then the second
give
trimester.
mama a hand, man.
And then the second trimester.
Hand. Real talk. Go ahead.
And then the second trimester, look, this year a doctor has to be there. So then the day I was born, her doctor just took vacation that day. He told her he'll be there. Then the next day, plans pop up, you're on vacation, and then she died 5 days later. But it's like sometimes I tell myself, that's for a reason. It's for a reason. And I love that for her because that's the ultimate sacrifice.
Brother, hey, give your mother a hand, bro. Give your mother a hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, what that brother just said is the ultimate sacrifice of just like what Christ did for us.
Right.
You understand? Yep. So now imagine if your mother being in the fourth dimension, if she was looking down and saw you wasting your life, how that would make your mother feel about her sacrifice. That's how Christ feels about our nation. You understand? Like, the reason why I use that analogy is because that's an analogy for the kingdom of heaven. You'll go through tumultuous pain. You understand? Like a woman travailing in childbirth. This is in Revelations. You understand? But when you in the kingdom, you forget about that pain. You understand? Like, do any of y'all remember the pain of you having to pull each of your teeth out for your new teeth to come in? But you remember when you did it, it hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do any of y'all remember the pain of when you smashed your finger in the door? You understand? You knew that it was a sharp pain, but you can't remember it anymore because you're not smashing your hand in the door no more. The pain that you have to go through to learn is just that. It's a hard lesson. And it's for you to always remember. So when you do get to this side, that you never forget. You understand?
Right.
So Joseph was in hell. You understand? and he was called up. You understand? In front of the man. Just like all of y'all and all of us, including me, we in hell right now. It's a point in time that we're going to have to get called up in front of the man. You understand? And you're going to have to stand on it. And you're going to have to give a report, whether it's good or bad. And you're going to have to stand on it. And you can't give no excuse, because you can't lie to yourself. You understand? That's why I tell people all the time, you can't lie to the Lord, because you can't lie to yourself, because this is the temple of the Most High God. He dwells inside of you. You can lie to everybody else. You can front for everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself. When everybody is gone and you in there doing whatever you're doing by yourself, whether you watching pornography, you smoking weed, whatever the hell it is you doing, the Lord knows, because you know.
Right.
That's why whenever you sin, you immediately feel shame and guilt, because that's the Spirit of the Lord letting you know, I see you. You ain't got away with nothing. That's why he says that he will visit his iniquity. He will visit the iniquity upon the third and fourth generation. Nobody gets away. You understand? Like the lady that got Emmett Till killed, she confessed on her deathbed. She lied. You understand? And she's like, I done lived a good life. I'm gonna do a good deed before I die, so I go to heaven. Oh no, baby. It don't work like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that. So you either gonna get what's coming to you in this life or the next. Right. So it's best for you to correct yourself in this life. Because I'm sorry, it took me 30 years to find the truth. I don't want to have to go through that again. You understand? Like, what age were you when you found out about the truth? What about you? Yeah, bro, how old are you now? How old are you now? You're 22? Now, imagine all the heartache and pain that you experienced, not only because you didn't know, because your parents didn't know. Do you want to go through that again? You understand? That's the kingdom of heaven, to wake up and know your culture, know who you are. You understand? You don't have to go searching and find out and have doubts to know, to when you hear people talk about birthday, you're like, what is that? To hear people talk about Christmas, what's that? I mean, hell, in Ethiopia, is what year we said it was in Ethiopia? I think it was like 2000, and it's like 2015 right now. In Ethiopia, it's 2015. They are in their world. You understand? Like, the Chinese don't celebrate the New Year's when we celebrate the New Year's, because they're in their world. Imagine if we had our own world. It don't matter what nobody else does. You understand? If you stand 10 toes, it don't matter how far somebody knock you down. Eventually, the man gonna call you up. You understand? Who holding Psalms 105 for me? Yeah, go ahead. You gonna read the 20?
Okay, but he sent a man before them, even Joseph, who was sent for a servant, whose feet they hurt with fetters. He was laid in iron until the time that his word came. The word of the Lord tried him.
The word of the Lord did what?
Tried him.
You understand? Now, imagine your daddy telling you, son, if you do this, the Lord, he gonna hold you down. He gonna bless you. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you go through, you gonna always come out on top. Imagine your daddy telling that you get kidnapped and sold into slavery. Imagine you in slavery, you get raised. Okay, Pop, I see what you're talking about. You know, I got favor. And then somebody lie on you and get you sent to prison. And at this point, I mean, let's just keep it real. I mean, we can honestly say for sure he been in there for 3 years, because he did a season with the chief butler, you know what I'm saying, and the chief baker. You feel me? They was in there for a season. And then he forgot about it for 2 years. We don't know how long he was in there before they got in there. So he could have been in there for 2 to 5. You know what I'm saying? And even in that time, he got raised up. The chief guard, everything. He was what they call him, God dog. What they call the people that work in the jail when you got a job? What they call them? No, not the CEO. The
Trustee.
Yeah, you a trustee. You the chief trustee in the prison. You the head trustee in the prison. Everything that the warden say got to go through you. You know what I'm saying? So now you down here, and all of a sudden the warden like, hey man, the governor want to talk to you. Like, what the governor want to talk to me for? I don't know. He just told me to get you cleaned up and send you up there. I mean, brother, you ain't seen a suit in 5 years. You got a crazy unkept beard with all types of split ends. Your head crazy. You know what I'm saying? You look like John the Baptist when he was in the wilderness, brother. You know what I'm saying? And it said that they groomed him. You know what I'm saying? Put him in some fine clothes, because you can't just go before the governor or the president any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So when it's your time, you got to put in your time. You know what I'm saying? Like, all success is opportunity meeting preparedness. So if you've been prepared, if you got sold into slavery and kidnapped, you didn't stop serving the Lord. You rose up when you was a slave and then got lied on and sent to prison, and you still served the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And while you was in prison, you was prophesying, you know what I'm saying, telling dreams. Now it's time for you to come to the grandstand, because you fell from being a prince to being a prisoner. Now the head of the land then called you, because everywhere that you go, it's just like when your mama raised you right or your daddy raised you right, and you go and try and hang out on the block, and the old heads be like, hey bro, you don't need to be out here. Why do they say that?
Because you're not meant for that. I feel like certain people, or like, I don't want to say, God places certain situations in place people's life. So like, I got cousins who act tough, but I know they mama gonna buy them whatever. They daddy, grandma, cousin.
But what do they see in you?
Potential.
Get it, bro. There it is. There it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason why they got trapped in that lifestyle is because they didn't have options. You know what I'm saying? Every time you go somewhere and try and act like you from there, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Every time. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. It be the ones that grow up in good households that want to go and be thugs. That's insane to me. Right. You know what I'm saying? You think people that want to sell drugs out? People that want to rob, they do it because they ain't had no choice. And when you come out there and they know your mama, they know your daddy, they know the stock that you come from, I'm like, bro, what you doing out here? You don't belong here, man. Go on that gridiron, man. Go throw that football, bro. Get your scholarship. Get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Go be somebody, bro. You know what I'm saying? If I see you back here out here on this block, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna do something bad to you. It's just like that scene in Straight Outta Compton when them kids was throwing gang signs out the bus window and them bloods came up on that bus. He's like, you know what I'm saying, y'all better be banging these books. You know what I'm saying? Because he's talking about I eat Crips for breakfast or something like that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Instead of gang bang, you better be banging these books, because this life ain't meant for you. Because this real life or death. You know what I'm saying? The wage you're seeing is what? Yeah. Death. And they trying to keep you from that. So if the Lord gotta take you from mama and daddy house, you know what I'm saying? Send get you kidnapped to keep you from your wicked brothers. His brothers was wicked, brother. I mean, Reuben was tripping. You know what I'm saying? Reuben was tripping. Like, bro, what make you want to sleep with your daddy wife, bro? You tripping, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I don't care if it is your stepmama, bro. Like, what? Nigga, you crazy. You tripping.
You should have been see her like that.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like you that is the true definition of what the scripture says, uncovering your father's nakedness. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point you feel that you equal with your daddy, and you're not. You know what I'm saying? You know, Judah out here laying with whores, and then all of them was conspiring to kill Joseph. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord had to remove him from that to raise him up, to keep the line righteous. Because what we're going to end up finding out is that all of them going to end up needing him, and they ain't even going to know who he is, because just like that question you asked earlier about his light was shining so bright, they ain't even recognize. When we get to that point in the story, they ain't even going to recognize their brother. Because when you really come into the truth and you really walk this walk, you're not going to look like nothing that they ain't never seen before. You're not going to dress like they've ever seen before. You're not going to walk like they've ever seen before. You're not going to talk. You understand? Your countenance is going to be crazy. They're going to be like, bro, who are you? And it's crazy. When I see people from high school, I can be looking at them dead in the face. They won't even recognize me. Because that's what the truth does. It's a blinding light to where your enemies won't even recognize you. You know what I'm saying? And then when you be like, you call them by name, like, who is you? It's me. Hey, man, what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? But that's what the truth does. But when your time comes, you gotta be willing to stand. You read to 20? Did you get all the way to 20?
Verse 20. And the king sent and loosened him, even the ruler of the people, and let him go free.
Right. You understand? The Lord's word is going to try you. You understand? Because how else can you be purified? The only way that you can purify raw ore is that you have to burn away the impurity. And the heat has to be turned up in your life. I mean, brother, like, you could have something that's so deep down because of trauma. You understand? The only way it's going to come to the surface, the heat got to get turned up in your life. And it's not no, it's this. It's this. You know what I'm saying? The way you temper a blade, you got to put it in heat, put it in cold, ching, 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 put it back in heat, ching, 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 put it back in cold. And you see if the blade's straight. Oh, it's a little crooked. Put it back in heat, ching, 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 put it back in the cold, line it up. It's still a little off. You know what I'm saying? It's off to the left. Put it back in the heat, hammer it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go through heat, getting bludgeoned, and then freezing. That sound like seasons to me, y'all. You understand? And the only time where it's kind of okay is when he take you out and see if you straight or not. And he puts you on a litmus test. Like, now he leaning to the right. Put him back in the heat. You know what I'm saying? And it's a constant process until you're perfect. And now you're a katana. You can cut anything. You know what I'm saying? You can be hit by anything and you won't break because you're tempered steel. You understand? And all the impurities that would break your blade have been burned away. But the only way that happens, you can't stay up here. What you gonna experience in lap and luxury? Nothing. What you gonna learn when everything all good? Nothing. You gotta get knocked down a peg. You gotta fall. You gotta get up. Gotta climb a couple steps, fall again, get back up. It says a righteous man falls how many times? Somebody give me that scripture. Somebody give me that scripture. It's Proverbs 24:16. And we're gonna stop here. We're gonna pick up with the rest of the story next week.
Proverbs 24:16. For a just man falleth 7 times and rises up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it don't matter if you fall. You understand? It matters when you don't get up. You understand? Because in a fight, it's a difference. Now, if you get knocked out, that's different. You know what I'm saying? You wake up to fight another day. But to get hit, and then you be like, ooh, that hurt. I don't want to get hit no more. You know what I'm saying? And you just take the knee. How many times have we seen boxing matches where a dude get hit and he's throwing the towel? You know what I'm saying? I give you a modern day fight. You watch any Matias fight, you know what I'm saying? Everybody throws in the fight. Everybody throws in the towel against Matias. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He done killed one dude in the ring, you know what I'm saying? And everybody else done thrown in the towel. Nobody wants to continue. You understand? The one brother that wanted to continue, he not here no more. You know what I'm saying? He finished the fight, and they had to roll that boy to the back. And while he was sitting in the back, he transitioned on. That happened. And we talking about in the past 3 years. You know what I'm saying? But in a fight, you understand? You can't go into a fight thinking that it's. I mean, even the anime. I mean, hell, Goku take punches, bro. How many times Goku done got defeated and somehow Piccolo showed up with a Zenzu beam? You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you get stronger. You gotta fight a stronger opponent. That is the only way you get stronger, is by adding more weight. You gotta do like Mike Tyson said it the best. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have discipline, you have nothing. You're nothing. You understand? You gotta do the thing that you hate like you love it. You understand? To walk this walk is not easy. You understand? But you have to do the uneasy thing like you love it. Nobody likes running miles. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to be a boxer, you gotta run. You can be the coldest on the heavy bag, the double end bag. You can be dope at sparring, but if you don't have the win to go the distance in the champion rounds, you're gonna lose. You have to have the discipline to do the things that no one else wants to do. Nobody likes getting up at 5 a.m. Nobody. But if you want to pay your bills, you might want to get your butt up at 5 a.m. You know what I'm saying? You think grown men want to go to a job and hear another grown man talk to them crazy? No, they don't. You know why they do it? It's because either they look at their family and they do it for their family, you know what I'm saying? Or they do it because they don't want to be on the street somewhere. You know what I'm saying? If you want more for yourself, you have to do things that people aren't willing to do. The reason why no one can stop doing drugs is because they don't want to do the thing to stop doing drugs. Because when you stop doing drugs, you know what you go through? Withdrawal. Nobody likes going through withdrawal. It's painful. Have you seen a heroin addict like go cold turkey, brother? It is a horrible sight. Brother, tremors, nightmares, stomach aches. You understand? Every night, every night. You understand? That's why prison is actually the best thing for some people. Because if not, you would kill yourself. You have to go somewhere where restriction is You don't have the discipline to restrict yourself, so the Lord got to send you somewhere to restrict you, to save your life. You understand? Maybe 5 years is good enough. Maybe 20 years is good enough. Maybe you spending your life in there is good enough to save your life. Because if you had not even freedoms, the liberty, because we don't have freedom in America. You have liberties and rights based off of liberties. I mean, if anyone that's been in the military, you know the difference between liberty and freedom, right? You understand? So you don't have the discipline in a world full of liberties. So the Lord got to send you somewhere to restrict you, to save you. And that's what we all going through in our lives, no matter where you are. You know what I'm saying? You may be in I say this all the time, you might be in a 1-bedroom apartment and your partner might be in a 3-bedroom house. But guess what? I got the same amount of food in the refrigerator. Y'all both struggling to keep the lights on. Which was hell for you is heaven for somebody that's homeless. What you think is heaven that your homeboy got, he in hell, huh? Like, it's levels to this. An old way of saying, you show me a fine woman, I'll show you a nigga that's tired of. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody want to go to heaven, but don't nobody want to die. You know what I'm saying? Like the analogy of the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man married to 7 wives. Brother, I don't know if you can deal with, dealing with one is a lot. 7? That's crazy. That's crazy. Because I know how much attention this one need from me. 7? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? As what Knox say, that's crazy work. That's crazy work, God. That's crazy work. Heaven ain't easy, bro. You understand? You gotta die. To be a king, that means you're last. You're the greatest servant. So if you call yourself a king, you understand? Just know you're last. CEOs, they pay everybody else before they pay themselves. They're the last ones to get paid. If anyone has ever ran a company or grown a company, you know your business can be successful and you'll be broke. Right. You got to pay all the workers. You're last. That's what it means to be a king. That's what it means to be a ruler. You're last. And what scripture says, the last shall be first. But don't nobody want to be last. Don't nobody want to sacrifice. Don't nobody want to take that L. Nobody. This is hard, bro. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. You gonna smash your hand. You might break a bone. You understand? You might get bedridden in the hospital, huh? You might go to prison. You understand? You might get wrongly profiled. You're gonna get fired. I'm sorry. You're gonna get evictions. You're gonna get a repo. I'm sorry. Your woman might leave you. She might take your kids. Sis, your husband might leave you. It is what it is. But in order to get on this side, I got to make sure that you're able to deal with this and stay consistent. It ain't a matter of if, it's when. Because it's going to happen. Whatever that test is in for your life, it's going, I guarantee it. It is not a 99.9. It's a 100% fact. Something's going to happen. Like, brother, in the truth, Orion will tell you, I start looking crazy when everything cool. Cause I'm where it's coming from. I know it's coming. Where you at? Satan, I know you here. Satan cold at his job, I tell you. He the coldest angel, brother. I'm talking about he is awesome at his job. He is awesome getting you to take your frustration out on your wife. He is awesome getting you to fold, you understand, under any condition. You understand? He is awesome at that. At turn, look, this Satan, this you walking down the street, there's a sack of weed. That's all that's going on. You can just keep walking. You go through all these emotions inside your body. You know what I'm saying? All these spirits like, weed. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But all Satan was like, weed. You know what I'm saying? And then the spirits start doing this in you. You know what I'm saying? They start going crazy in you. You feel me? But his job is to test you. You understand? Christ's job is to prepare you. But you got to take the test. And it's okay if you don't pass because it's not losses, it's lessons. But you only got a certain amount of time for that final exam come and it's over. So all these practice exams that you getting, I suggest you take the study guide home. Because the test is coming every day. One way, shape, form, or another. All right. Anybody got any questions before we close out today? Yakuba, you had a question earlier. What was your question? All right, no sweat. Dang, next week Valentine's Day, huh? All right, so we'll pick up on the second half of 41, not next Monday, but the week after that. Next week, I'll go into the historic origins of Valentine's and all its paganism and dogma and all of that stuff. All right. So with that, we're going to say Amajian, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn. We're going to face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Quadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatha, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kuwar, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lacham, Call, Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kabawak Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawak Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabia Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahatapara, La'awalumium, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Sar, turn to face the front. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers, then to the sisters. Men of Israel, Bani Shabbat, Majid, Rock, Yahal Bashim, Yahal Shah Brakatah, Yadamatah, Sar, turn to face the sister. Men of Israel, Bani Shabbat, Majid, Rock, Yahal Shemar Bashim, Yahal Shah, Yadamatah, dismiss.